The Walton Files. The Walton Files presents itself as archived company footage, specifically training tapes from a business called Bunny Smiles. The company created animatronic characters for entertainment. At first, everything appears normal. Instructional videos, character introductions, corporate messaging. But very quickly, things begin to break. Faces flash on screen for a split second. Voices distort into something unnatural, and the tapes begin to reveal something hidden. Several people connected to the company have disappeared, and somehow their presence still exists inside the footage. The animatronics are not just machines. They feel aware, they move incorrectly, they stare too long, they behave like something is inside them. The horror comes from implication. You are not shown everything, but you understand enough to feel uncomfortable, like you are watching something you were never meant to see. The Backrooms Kane Pixels. The Backrooms begins with a single piece of found footage. A cameraman accidentally falls out of reality. He lands in an endless series of empty rooms, yellow walls, fluorescent lights, and no clear exit. The space feels artificial, too quiet, too repetitive, too empty. The footage is recorded like a real VHS tape. Unstable camera movement, natural audio, no background music. This makes everything feel believable. But something else is there. You do not see it clearly at first. You hear it. You sense it. You catch glimpses of movement. As the series continues, a larger story appears. A research organization has discovered this place. They are experimenting with it, trying to understand it. But the environment does not follow normal rules, and whatever exists inside it is not meant to be found. Gemini Home Entertainment. Gemini Home Entertainment is structured like a collection of educational VHS tapes. Each video focuses on a different topic: wildlife, geography, safety instructions. The presentation is calm, clear narration, simple visuals, nothing unusual at first. But slowly, details begin to change. Animals are described incorrectly. Locations do not behave as expected, and certain warnings feel out of place. The ocean becomes the central theme. Something is living within it, something large, something intelligent, something that does not belong on Earth. The tapes begin to shift in tone. Less educational, more urgent. They are no longer teaching, they are warning. The horror is not immediate, it builds through realization. The understanding that the world being described is not safe, and may never have been. Local 58. Local 58 is presented as a public television station. Each video is a broadcast. Different programs, different formats, but all of them are interrupted. The signal is taken over. Emergency alerts begin to appear. They give instructions. Strange instructions: do not look at the moon. Remain inside your home. Avoid all visual contact with the sky. The messages feel official, but also wrong. The tone is calm, but the content is disturbing. There is no clear explanation, no visible threat, only guidance, and the strong suggestion that something is happening beyond your understanding. The horror comes from control. Something is using the broadcast system, and it knows exactly how to communicate with you. The Mandela Catalogue. The Mandela Catalogue focuses on entities known as alternates. They resemble humans, but something about them is off. Their faces are distorted, their expressions are unnatural, and their behavior is unpredictable. These entities replace people. They imitate voices, they manipulate recordings, they create confusion. The series is presented through police reports, instructional videos, and recovered footage. Each piece adds more information, but also raises more questions. There are warnings about how to respond. Do not engage. Do not acknowledge. Do not let them influence you, because once they do, it is already too late. The horror is psychological. It is based on identity, the idea that you cannot trust what you see or who you are speaking to. CH/SS. CH/SS is built entirely around surveillance footage. Static cameras placed inside a house. Different angles, different rooms, no narration, no explanation. At first, nothing happens. The footage is still, quiet. But slowly, small changes begin to appear. A door that was closed is now open. An object is slightly moved. A figure appears for a brief moment. The camera does not react. It continues recording. The lack of editing makes everything feel raw, unfiltered, real. There are no dramatic effects, no music, only silence. And the growing realization that something is inside the house, watching, moving, and getting closer. Vita Carnis. Vita Carnis presents itself as a scientific documentary. It explains a new form of life, organisms made entirely of flesh. At first, the tone is educational, clear narration, simple diagrams, calm explanations. The creatures are introduced like animals. They have names, categories, behaviors. But something feels wrong. These organisms are not normal. They do not act like animals. They grow in unnatural ways. They mimic shapes. They blend into their environment. Some of them resemble objects. Some resemble people. The most disturbing part is how casually they are described. Like they have always existed. Like this is normal. The tapes begin to reveal more. These creatures are spreading, expanding, adapting, and humans are not in control. The horror comes from the presentation. There is no panic, no urgency, just quiet acceptance, which makes it feel even more real, like the world has already changed, and no one can stop it. Harmony and horror. Harmony and horror looks like a children's brand. Bright colours, friendly characters, simple designs. It feels safe. At first, the series is built around toys, dolls created for children. But something is wrong. The footage becomes distorted. The tone changes, and the dolls begin to feel alive. Not in an obvious way, but through small details, movements that should not happen, expressions that feel unnatural, moments that last too long. The story reveals darker elements, disappearance, control, something hidden behind the brand. The cheerful presentation makes it worse. Because it contrasts with what is happening. You expect something safe, but instead you get something unsettling. The horror builds slowly, through repetition, through distortion, through the feeling that something is watching. And by the time it becomes clear, it is already too late.